One, two, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. This is an emergency live. Gang. What's good? Let me know if you can hear me. Sorry for the late night creep, but we got another emergency live, gang. I know if I keep saying these lives are emergency, you guys not going to keep believing me. But this is an emergency live, gang. We got to get to it. It's a lot going on in hip hop that we need to discuss. Sarah Wong in the building, Homebody in the building, Mr. God got me in the building. It's an emergency, gang. We need an emergency meeting of the minds. Hip hop is here. Hip hop is in the building. Elevated Gamer, we here. Gang, you know what we do here on this channel. We talk about hip hop, the state of hip hop. Mary Brown in the building, salute. We here, wifey, we here. Mike Lyons, we here. We gonna have a conversation because it's getting crazy, spooky, and hilarious. Envious Lyric is here. Envious Lyrics is here. Dino Alien, we ready to get busy, gang. I don't know what's going on. Homebody told me stop creeping on the low. Listen, late night creeps. I don't be going this late all the time, but sometimes, man, sometimes I gotta do what I gotta do. G's 1700 in the building. Listen, I don't know what's happening, gang. I don't know if I've ever seen this many rappers in danger. My guy KRS-One got a song from back in the day, right? Josie Gal, Holly B in the building. My guy KRS-One got a song. If you old head like me, you remember a song called Rappers Are in Danger, right? KRS-One sampled that Rappers Are in Danger from a song by EPMD. I believe it may have been Rappers Are in Danger. It may have been, was that that might have been 9 that said that rappers are in danger. It may have been 9. It may have been Eric Sermon or PMD. Somebody said that rappers are in danger. And rappers been in danger since the 90s, gang. Rappers been in danger since the 90s, gang. I'm just going to be honest. But I don't know if we seen nothing like this. These dudes are in casinos, owing $1 million. Dudes is crashing out over 10K, gang. Rappers are in danger, gang. I don't know what's happening. Scissor, you right. Molly, you in danger, girl, because these rappers is bugging out. I don't understand what's happening in hip-hop. We've never seen this level of danger for rappers. Rappers is on site. This is a new thing, gang. You got one rapper kidnapping his label owner, putting a blicky to him, telling him, take things off, take chains off. Right? You got 2 other rappers beefing for months, probably years, talking about, when I see you, I'm going to slap the shit out you. Well, apparently they saw each other, gang. We ain't seen nothing like this. And you would have thought they would have learned from the Pop Smoke incident or the Biggie Smalls incident. Nope. Gang, we can name a dozen rappers who not here no more. Right now. Without even trying. You could name 12. Rappers are in danger. It used to be like a funny little thing to say, rappers are in danger. But now, they really in danger. Offset got shot in the leg or the waist, depending on who you believe. And sometimes you just got to wait for all the reports to be in. Because at one point, they were saying both of them was shot dead and Lil TJ was in critical condition. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. We're going to get to the bottom of what happened. This is hip hop, and we got to discuss hip hop. It's a hip hop channel. So we're going to get to the bottom of what happened, but these rappers are in danger, right? We see that most of the OG rappers that are really important to the culture, they fine. They doing just fine, right? Because they stay out of the way. They stay out of the way. They got the appropriate amount of security, right? They don't be in too many casinos. They don't be in too many Waffle Houses. They don't be in too many smoke shops or neighborhood dice games. They don't really do a lot of that. They don't do a lot of that. So a lot of the veterans from our era and 40 plus and this, that, and the third, right? The usual suspects, Kendrick, Kanye, J. Cole, right? Jay-Z. You don't see a lot of nonsense with them. For one, they got their money right. They're not doing a whole lot of nonsense with gambling and tomfoolery. They don't let a lot of people in their circle. But Offset, listen, man, let's just be honest. This is hip hop, so I got to talk about hip hop. Offset rolls a little differently, gang. Let's just be honest. Offset rolls a little bit different, right? We never was taught to roll like Offset rolls, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. Even the toughest niggas everywhere, like they don't roll like this. Offset puts himself in clear and present danger all the time. I've never seen, gang. Let's talk about Offset for a second. We're gonna get to all this. Rappers are in danger. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say from the very first time I heard of Offset and Amigos, it was drama. Right? Wasn't they chasing XXXTentacion, trying to jump him? How long ago was that? Offset really living that song. I'm a thug all day, every day, because I'm a thug. Gang, hip hop got some really, really, really curious individuals. Migos been with the shits. They've been in the middle of quite a few kerfuffles. And some of them took a toll. Rest in peace to Takeoff. Right? Some of this stuff adds up and has consequences. Nazir said 2017. Sarah said 2018. I remember when they were beefing with Triple X, XXXTentacion. And I believe they got into a fight with him. They caught him somewhere. Right? Now, XXX he was a fighter, though. Right? He was a fighter. I remember when XXX was a troublemaker, a problem. He was the cause of all the beef. If I'm not mistaken, I think he started with them. I'm just going to be honest. But he changed his life around, which is sad because once he changed his life around, that's when things went left. But Offset been moving kind of like this for a while. Right? They with the shits. They with the shits. And in hip hop, walk it like I talk it. Walk it like you talk it. Walk it like you talk it, right? We want niggas to be real. We want you to be real. When Dave Chappelle say, when keeping it real goes wrong. I've seen Offset in the middle of drama for the last 10 years. I'm just going to be honest. And we're going to get to Pooh Shiesty and Gucci and all that because it's hip hop. We got to talk about it. But I've seen Offset in the middle of drama for the last 10 years. With his own crew, with other crews. He don't back down from nothing. Wasn't he going back and forth with Nicki Minaj husband? Am I bugging out? Am I making that up? Drop the location. He don't duck no smoke. Right? He don't duck no smoke. That's a product of the environment. But you know what else is a product of the environment? When you can't control your vices, and Offset can't control his vices. We all got vices. I got vices. Everybody got vices. But you got to know the limit, right? How Rakim say, you got to know the ledge. Right? Remember that movie Juice? Tupac, Omar Epps, right? And what's my homeboy, the light-skinned dude? Raheem is dead. Somebody shot him. And Fat Chop, we named my man Chop Fat Chop after the character from the movie in Juice. Fat Chop. And the theme song is Know the Ledge. And rappers that don't know the ledge, things happen. We see that Offset may not know this ledge. Over the past week, and I already heard about Offset's alleged vices, or we all heard about this already, but we never seen it on display like this. Now everybody got a story, right? Everybody got a story of Offset on the money, right? Who was the football player? It's all over right now. Offset vices are, everybody can say these stories now. I've heard 3 different people come out and say that Offset borrowed money from them. After Selena Powell said it, after Lil TJ said it, now they're talking about who else? It was a couple people on Twitter. Just all kind of stories. I think Ebro even said like everybody got a story about Offset. 5 grand, 10 grand. I just read an article where a casino in Detroit is now suing off. You're right, Des Brown, I think it was. A casino in Detroit is going to sue Offset for $100,000. This is hip hop, gang. This is a teachable moment. It's a teachable moment. They said Offset owes them a credit line. He got a credit line of 100 grand. That's in Detroit. That ain't even where he at, the Hard Rock. This needs to be spoken about, gang. Hip hop, we got to acknowledge this stuff. We can't act like this don't happen. 100 grand down in one casino and you down in the other. Allegedly 900,000 in the other. When you see a guy, let's just be honest. When you see a guy trying to get his wife for spousal support, it's usually a reason, because most guys are going to swallow that. I make my own fucking money. I don't need your money. So when a guy try to get spousal support, it's something going on, gang. I'm just going to be honest. These are teachable moments in hip hop. Rappers are in danger because Offset, that pride, let's just be honest, from what we know, right? There's a lot going on, gang. But from what we know, we could get into the extras. But from what we know, allegedly Offset and Lil TJ spotted each other in the casino. Man, I mean, everybody know Offset be at that casino. The Hard Rock in is it Miami? I got an article. I got a couple articles right here, but apparently, allegedly, they met up. They saw each other right on site, like that chicken in that Family Guy cartoon. You know how the chicken sees when he sees them on site. When he sees Family Guy on site, it's on and popping. No more words. They just start rumbling. So allegedly, these dudes started rumbling. This is according to reports. And somebody beat up somebody. I don't know who did what to who, but somebody's man allegedly, and it's getting real crazy because now they're saying it was a fan. Now they're saying it wasn't neither one of their man, Peter and the chicken. Now they're saying it wasn't neither one of their mans. It was a fan of Offset. that allegedly. Now I don't know. Salute the what's homeboy's name? What's his name? The YouTuber Seti Nash. He's swearing on his grave that it was a fan of Offset that allegedly. This is all. I don't know, gang. Allegedly saw the whole thing going down, and he's the one in jail for the shooting, right? So we don't know what's going on. All we do know is rappers are in danger. Allegedly, Offset. Oh, this is all public knowledge now at this point. Allegedly, Offset. TJ said last year he saw Offset somewhere years ago. He saw him at a casino, busted, panicking, asking people for money. He said asking random people for cash apps. Just busted. And he said, he said, yo, here go 5K. Said he lost that real quick. Asked some old lady. He gave him another 5K after the old lady gave him money. So he owed him 10K. He was new to the game. Offset was already had hit records and everything. So he said Offset, one thing led to another, and Offset never got back to him with the money. And y'all know what crash outs do when they don't want to pay you. They rather get it where they can offend you, and then when you bark back, now they don't owe you. I'm from the hood, man. I seen it all. Only thing about me, this is the thing about me. I'll give you the money knowing you're not gonna pay it back. I'm not gonna give you a lot. I'll give it to you because then I don't got to pay you. I don't give you nothing else. I'm not gonna chase you down because I knew you was never gonna pay in the first place. But you give him $20, $50, right? That's a different situation. What they doing 10 grand, but he didn't know that this guy was going to do him like that allegedly. But the way it's looking with the Selena powders down the third, now we're going to take it with a grain of salt, what she's saying. But at the end of the day, sometimes some people track record look crazy. And I see you in the casino with house slippers on every day. Like you live there, it's kind of like hard to say this ain't what it is. All right. End of the day, this is hip hop. So this is public knowledge. We talking about hip hop. These are teachable moments. So end of the day, they see each other allegedly in the casino, the Hard Rock, get the scrapping. Right? I don't know who got out on who, but they're saying that Offset may have got out on them. Right? I know my DC language is a little hard to understand sometimes. When we say we got out on them, right? If I say, yo, these two Bamas was clutching and Cuz got out on them, I mean he started to win the fight, okay? For those who need a translation. Allegedly, Offset got out on him and started to win the fight, right? And apparently, his mans and them was in there, and they got busy, right? This is according to alleged eyewitness reports. So allegedly, a fan intervened, and the rest was history. Somebody was laying on the ground, but I don't think it was. So the fan intervened, and then homeboy, whoever was on the other side, allegedly did whatever the violation with the weapon. Okay, so it wasn't the fan. I'm sorry, I might have said it was the fan. Allegedly, the fan started beating people up. I said it wrong earlier. Allegedly, the fan started beating people up. So it got a little hairy on the other side, and then boom, somebody violated with a weapon. So I don't know all the details, but it sounds like this thing got a little hairy because it was one side that had the upper hand, and the other side had to even it out. So I don't know, but at the end of the day, we got rappers scrapping in casinos, gang. This is where it's at. Rappers with $1 million record deals. Rappers with $1 million wives and ex-wives. Rappers that do $1 million videos and give out Birkin bags. Some stuff don't need to be public knowledge. I'm trying to remember, like, we used to get into it back in the day. Like, rappers used to get into it. We've had a lot, like, we've had rappers do things back in the day. Let's just be honest. We had a whole shootout at Hot 97, Lil Kim, allegedly. 50 Cent, G Unit, all this stuff. So stuff has been happening for years. Let's not act too sedity now. Okay? We've had a lot of a lot of guys come to blows over this rapping. But at this rate, it's getting scary. It's scary to be a rapper. Right now, they were saying this, 2 years ago? One of the most dangerous jobs on earth is being a rapper. They were like this. Okay. Some of the most dangerous jobs on earth: astronaut, coal miner, D-League football player, and rapper. Like, rappers were one of the worst jobs you could have because your life is in danger more than the average cop. If you search your mind, you can name a good 20 rappers who are not here no more in the last 5 years. Offset lucky to be alive. Do you know that if you get shot in your leg, there was a one of the greatest, I think he was a free safety, right? My guy, oh my God, I gotta remember my guy. Give me a second. Free safety for the Washington Redskins. This was one of the greatest free safeties. I'm from DC, right? And one of my favorite Redskins players. I'm a Redskin fan. We call it the Commanders now. And the safety for the Redskins, one of the greatest safeties in history, Sean Taylor. Used to call him Shawnee, right? Look him up, Gen Z, if you don't know. Miss Rock Kitty, I see you in the building. Sherry Ann in the building. Sean Taylor was one of the greatest safeties in the history of football before he was killed. Mike Lyons got it, Sean Taylor, right? Sean Taylor and Jackson Doom got it too. Sean Taylor was shot in the leg. Some kids, he was living in Florida, and he was because I believe he went to University of Miami. So he stayed, I think he kept a house in Florida. I mean, he might even grew up in Miami. I'm not sure. Right? But Sean Taylor was he was about to be one of the greatest ever. That's my guy, Sean Taylor. Light a candle for Sean Taylor every year. And Sean Taylor was in the house with his wife sleeping, right? Got woke up by some noise in his house. Sean Taylor used to help the kids in the neighborhood. He used to do anything he could for these kids. Well, for one reason or the other, these kids decided to go into his house and rob him. Now, Sean Taylor heard the noise, got out of bed to check on the noise, and these kids were in his house. And when he came out and confronted them, one of them shot him in the leg. They hit him in his leg, hit his artery, and he bled out. Now, I'm going to assume they wasn't trying to kill him, but they shot him in the leg and he died. So Offset got shot in the waist, allegedly. You can die from that. I think it's the carotid artery, if I'm not mistaken. The carotid artery, if I'm saying that right. If they hit that, it's boom, bye-bye. So Offset lucky to be alive. They could have hit that artery. He could be gone. They were saying it was a shot in the ass, right? But it came out, the reports came out that it was his waist. Now, listen, let's talk about what they fighting for. They've been going back and forth on in the DMs Instagram. And then Lil TJ came out and said, I'm sorry, that Offset is broke. Don't loan Offset money. Oh, femoral artery. That's what it is. Hold on. I said it wrong. The femoral artery, right? Violet said the carotid artery is in your neck. All right, so the femoral artery, right? Let's keep it correct. Is what he got hit in the leg, right? So Lil TJ came out and said, "Don't give Offset no more money. He's busted." Offset got wind of that because he said, "I gave Offset 10K back in the day when I was just getting in the game, and he never gave it back. And he told me I ain't getting it back." Basically, I guess they got to argue. He told him, "Take it back in blood," right? So they was back and forth in the DMs because the DM screenshots came out. He told him, "Take it in blood." He said, "Where you at?" He said, "I'm gonna slap the shit out you when I see you." These guys going back and forth. They've been going at it for a year. So Offset been really kind of bugging out for a minimum of a year with this situation that he got going on. They both said on site when I see you. Now, if I'm Lil TJ, I have to know that he stays in this. It's been common knowledge for months that he stays in the Hard Rock. He's in there all the time. So you could literally say that TJ went there for that. Let's just be honest. Now we don't know. Who the fuck knows? But at the end of the day, we saw a clip a few weeks ago where a fan and Offset almost got into a fight because the fan tried to get a picture with Offset. Offset said no. Offset was at the cashier's window trying to get money out. He's at the cashier's window trying to get money out. Right? And the fan was trying to take, the fan was out of line. Let's just be honest. Fan want to take a picture and then post it and be like, "Yeah, I'm with Offset," and he gonna have his location and all that. And yeah, the fan out of line. Let's just be honest. Right? We can't do that no more. Ever since PNB Rock, we can't do that. Shit, ever since XXXTentacion, we can't do that. It's still fuzzy about XXXTentacion, but he did. Somebody put the location, right? So you can't be posting famous people's location, especially in the casino, because Offset was by himself. He didn't have no security, and he was taking out. I think he was trying to take out a couple thousand from that cashier, because I think she said how much you want. So the fan was out of line. Let's just be honest. So he started arguing with the fan. They was about to fight. The fan took offense. Some black guy took offense. "Man, you an asshole." Fans want what they want. It is what it is. So he started arguing with the fan about, "Don't take my picture, bro." End of the day, we've seen him in this same casino. So I'm going to assume TJ and them had to know he might be there at some point. So apparently they crossed paths and it got ugly. Allegedly, Offset started getting out on him, like I told you. Nigga got out on him. They started rumbling. They was clutching. Nigga did an overhand right swing ball. He's got out on him. That's how we talk. So he got out on him, allegedly. Then they allegedly started to overwhelm him with force. It was more forces than he could. He was by himself, allegedly. And then the fans saw it, jumped in, start going nuts, doing what he do. And then they decided that this had to end right now. And I don't know, you know what I'm saying? You never know. These things don't never be cut and dry. But allegedly, we saw Offset in a hospital gown smoking a cigarette. He survived. But I wonder if he going to change his ways. When you're this in debt, I don't know if you can change your ways. If he's in the kind of debt they're talking. They got people coming out the woodwork all over the place saying, Dez Bryant, I believe he said he was scared to ask for his money back. Because the dude owed him, like, was it $8K or something? They made a bet. 5 to 8K. And you may think these people got money, they don't want their money, but like they low-key want their money. They're not going to bet you $8K if they don't want it. So He said he had these dudes around him all the time, and he was scared to say something. He wanted his money, and dude was like ignoring him. So he said, you know what? It was so many guys, I was outnumbered. I just left it alone. So obviously that guy just going around just taking money, betting it, and just whatever, allegedly, right? He got an issue. He got a problem. He need to get help. Sometimes you come to your senses. Maybe sitting in that hospital bed, you're going to come to his senses. He got enough, and let me be honest. He has enough music. He has enough music to just lean on himself. He probably would be doing fine if it wasn't for all that gambling. But that's making him make bad decisions. I just found out that he was on a tour with NBA YoungBoy, getting basically being treated like an opener, trying to get his name right and get his bag right, and then try to drop a mixtape, and people really wasn't tripping. It's a tough place when you're down, where you know what I'm saying, when you're down and you feel like whatever. You hitting up Selena Powell and all these people, and they coming out with all these stories. This the perfect time to get his head together. Sitting in that hospital room thinking. I don't think it's going to. Some of these guys are knuckleheads, gang, and some of these guys really, this is how they really live. Some guys gonna sit in the hospital bed and get their mind right. Some guys gonna sit in the hospital bed and start plotting. As soon as I get out of here, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third. Already spinning the shit, trying to figure out how to make it look cool. We too old for this, gang. Hip hop is getting older. We getting older. Yes, we still a culture of great artists trying to do great things and make great music, street orientated music, yes. But at the same time, we could get older and understand that that's just music. We don't got to live like full on degenerates. We don't have to. Some people are raised like that, but you don't have to stay like that. And what amazes me, gang, and I'm gonna be honest, when I see a lot of these rappers, they up in the strip club and something happens outside to them. Or they up in the gambling spot that's illegal gambling and something happens to them. I'm like, when do you get enough money where you're not at these places no more? When? When does that happen? Where you've done enough gambling for your life? When does that happen? When you've seen enough people get robbed at the gambling spot? Gang, I was used to be in the hood. We shooting dice. The dice game could get robbed. You know this going in. You know going in that dice game could get robbed. Somebody could get shot right here. And for a time, it's good when you're young. It's okay. Let's right here. We can throw the bows. We can throw the bones. We can throw them. Let's go right here. Bang, bang, bang. I've seen so many people go to prison after a dice game because two dudes get into it. We just saw what happened to Takeoff, allegedly. But we still gambling and need ourselves to be protected or something bad is happening. A lot of times, though, let's just be honest, some dudes really get into stuff because of their personality. Like I told you, the XXX Tentacion stuff, Migos was already barking on a lot of people at that time. So Offset is no stranger to this shit. So you see somebody in the casino that you got a problem with. A casino should be, there's a movie, right? There's a movie called John Wick, right? And they got this hotel. I believe it might be called the Continental. And all the assassins know you can't kill nobody on the Continental premises. You can't kill John Wick. You can't kill nobody. And that's how the casino is supposed to be. A real functioning, licensed casino. A real casino, the Hard Rock Casino. We should know ain't no fighting in here. This is the Continental. Consider me John Wick. I can't be fought in here. I can't be shot, stabbed, nothing. Right? It is what it is. But these guys have no rules now. And their ego won't let them get through the situation without it escalating it. We're seeing this guy escalate so many little beefs instead of de-escalating. Gang, I've been around for a long time. I'm from DC. I keep telling you, I was born in Southeast DC. You don't get to my age not knowing how to de-escalate shit. Right? You don't get to my age. I tell you all the time, I used to do a lot of hip-hop shows. A lot. Saying I did 900 to 1,000 hip-hop shows is an exaggeration. It's not an exaggeration, I mean. And I used to bring all kind of rappers here up in New England. Sheik Luch, Styles P, Jewel Santana, Joe Budden, right? One of my issues with Joe Budden is a couple of them shows that I did with him, right? Joel Ortiz, the whole Slaughterhouse, right? Bazaar, right? I don't know if it's been enough time for me to say Bazaar owe me $1,000, but I'm gonna leave that right there. I used to do a lot of hip hop shows, right? And one thing I learned, treat niggas with respect. Don't escalate things. I ain't never ever once been so much as shoved. And I deal with a lot of guys straight out of prison. Most of the rappers in the last 15 years, a lot of them fresh out of prison and want to start a rap career. Just a fact. Right? And I dealt with some of the most heinous criminals with criminal records. Never once got into a fight with any one of them. Came close now. I'm gonna be honest with you. Came close. Right? Had one guy so mad, they said, Charles, I know you're not a sucker, but just stay inside for a little bit because he said if you come outside, they're gonna shoot you. Didn't get shot, I'm good. But it never escalated to that. That was one time, and that was probably 15 years ago. But end of the day, I deal with a lot of people, and what I have to do with, especially with these rappers, you gotta understand, stand your ground, but don't escalate. Some of these guys don't understand that. Gang, I've shaken hands with a lot of these rappers that you think is whatever. I dealt with a lot of them. A lot of West Coast rappers, New York rappers, New Jersey rappers, right? I can sit here all day. Keith Murray, right? I can sit here all day naming rappers. K Solo, that's my guy. Mr. Cheeks, all day. I can name about Edo G, Craig G. Salute to my guy, Craig G. Beanie Siegel, right? Niggas start fighting in the parking lot when at the Beanie Siegel show. The Beanie Siegel show that I did, if you go on YouTube, there's a video that Bean says something crazy about Jay-Z. The first time he ever said something crazy about Jay-Z, it was at a show in New England, and that was my show. And somebody was recording him, interviewing him, and that's when him and Jay was just starting to air out that thing. This is when he went to Dame Dash. That was at my show. All right. And not one time did I get into a fight, a stabbing, and a shootout. And 9 times out of 10, I was there with me and wifey. But the hood loved me. And you know why they loved me? Because I showed everybody respect. I put a lot of jail dudes on that stage. To this day, I get love in this hood. Crazy. I can go somewhere and I can go there by myself, and it's 50 guys in there that rock with me. Because I understand to respect people. Right? On some grown-up shit. You treat people with respect. A lot of these rappers don't understand that. They think it's about raw and being tough, this, that, and the third. You get further in life by respecting people as men. Right? End of the day. No, it ain't about being tough. We all could fight at some point if we got to. We're going to defend ourselves, but that's the very last resort. So if we got a problem in the casino, it's John Wick time. It's the Continental. This is a safe space. No one can attack no one. It's off limits. That's how the TJ thing and Offset thing should have went. It should have been, bro. I know we got issues, but end of the day, we're not gonna do this here. Now, but look what happened. Somebody shot, smoking a cigarette outside the hospital, in a hospital gown that's open in the back. And another dude got picked up by the cops. They let him out, but it ain't over. The investigation far from over. I promise you that. So, end of the day, we got a whole incident that's going to be under investigation, and God forbid if somebody on probation or parole or something crazy. But if you look at the situation, a lot of these people already have prior incidents, and that being tough shit don't last but so long. We see a lot of rappers that was tough, that ain't coming home, right? Or they sit in a box doing. I just saw a guy that they get what they gave him, a rapper. I just saw it. Gave him 45 years or something. Some rapper just got 45 years because he was trying to. He could have took the deal for 20, and he didn't take the deal, so they gave him. He lost, and they gave him 45 years. It's other things going on out here, gang, than being rough and tough. These rappers don't understand. And everybody is, you want to be a man, right? We're not saying we're not telling you walk around here and not be a man and not hold your head up and get your respect, of course. That go without saying. But you ain't got to prove you tough, especially in the DMs. This whole thing escalated from DMs. Let's think about it. He had to respect you enough to give you the 10K in the first place. Now, we got to look at it like this. Homeboy must got an addiction to take somebody's money and not pay it back, to take several people's money. But you would think, right? If I got an addiction and I'm owing money all over the place, let's just be honest. I'm going to be the humblest nigga you ever seen. I'm going to make you feel so gracious. I'm going to make it like, bro, I super appreciate you. I'm not going to antagonize you talking about I'm going to slap the shit out you when I see you and I owe you. Just going to be honest. So the teachable moment right here for hip hop is, yeah, we gotta tone down the testosterone. We got a lot of dudes living off testosterone. He was shot outside the casino. Injuries are life threatening. Some crazy. It's nonsense going on, gang. Let me see something. This is crazy. So I got the article up here. None of his injuries are life threatening. Let me see something. because it's just to me, bro. As you start getting older, you got to start figuring out what makes sense, right? What makes sense to you and what makes sense to the people around you. People around you. Listen, imagine now some of them people that was at this fight, they might got priors, right? And I get it. Dudes accept their fate. They accept if this is what it is, then some dudes, this is my job is to be the goon, right? They accept the fate. If I gotta do some time, it is what it is. But as the head honcho, right? Don't they call themselves the head honcho? I might be bugging. Maybe it's the other one. As the head honcho, it's your job, your duty, if you're the bag, to do everything you can to keep them out of jail. Your entire mission is to make sure your peoples stay free to your ability. You're supposed to de-escalate everything because everybody you got, most of the people around you gonna have priors. You're supposed to de-escalate everything, right? You're supposed to de-escalate everything because they're trusting you. You know what I mean? Let me read this crazy stuff, man. So they're saying that at the end of the day, right? I've been seeing like TJ's calling him a snitch. A lot of people saying he couldn't have snitched because TJ wouldn't have got out, but it wasn't TJ that allegedly did anything. So there's a whole lot going on. Let me read this article. Offset unveils facial injuries after alleged fight with Lil TJ by Caroline Fisher on hotnewhiphop.com. Offset is currently in the hospital recovering from a shooting that took place outside of a Florida casino earlier this week. He was hospitalized after being shot outside the Florida casino, and the former Migos member is in stable condition. Unfortunately, none of his injuries are fortunately, none of his injuries are life-threatening. An alleged fight with Lil TJ's crew reportedly took place before the shooting, leaving him with a few minor cuts and scrapes. I guess that's Lil TJ. In a clip shared by a college kid on Instagram, he pulls down a surgical mask to reveal a small wound on his nose. For now, it remains unclear whether or not he sustained any more notable injuries during the alleged fight. Offset has since claimed that Lil TJ was not the person who shot him. So he's not snitching. I don't know why they said he was snitching. He said he's not him. Lil TJ's attorney has released a statement denying his involvement. Quote, "We are issuing this release in regards to false rumors that Lil TJ was involved in a shooting, which occurred at the Valley area of the Seminole Hard Rock Hollywood, resulting in non-life-threatening injuries to Offset, formerly a member of Migos. Lil TJ has not been shot, nor has Lil TJ been charged with any shooting. Any reporting to the contrary is false. We encourage people to consult trusted news sources and to verify the accuracy of any reporting before reflexively sharing or repeating baseless rumors." There was a lot of rumors, gang. There was a lot of rumors. I think it might have been academics saying that both of them were shot. It was crazy, gang. They both were not shot. There was no such issue with both of these guys being shot. So that didn't happen, right? It says his injuries are not life threatening. He still smoked the blunt after this. This is the thing, man. Homie just said, "Rest in peace, take off." You think these guys would learn? You think after something so just awful happens that these guys should learn? Puffing out your chest. Let's just be honest, these ain't even real issues. 10K can't really be nothing to this guy right now. So both of them, if he's a gambling addict that owes one casino $100,000, 10K is nothing to him. He's blowing 10K in an hour at the tables. They said the Hard Rock Casino is giving him private jets to fly there. So you guys really escalated this over 10K? Let's just be honest. He literally, he had to, first of all, he's in the casino. He had to have some money, access to some money, some kind. He could have been like, "Yo, bro, I know I owe you 10K. Walk with me. Let's go to the tables. I'll get to you right now. There's no way he don't have 10K, gang. Let's just be honest. There's no way. Even though he busted and this, that, and the third, he still got to have 10K. But instead of making that right, they escalated to a fight and somebody's getting shot. Almost hit their femoral artery, right? I'm trying to figure out why dudes don't think about these things. Why don't they think about these things? Why? Why do we have these situations where a guy is about to lose his life, leave his kids over something as insignificant as 10K? Make it make sense. But hip hop, acting tough is more important than being smart. Rappers are in danger right now, gang, and we're not getting through to them. We're not getting through to them. They're not learning anything. Offset, let me find out how old is Offset. And niggas be cracking on my typing. Offset's 34 years old. You're old enough to know better at this point, my guy. I believe he got several kids. You got a whole rap career. There is no reason for you to be fighting. Let me find out how old TJ is. Let's just be honest. Gang, you're not even gonna believe this shit, gang. Lil TJ's 24 years old. Gang, we got a problem. We got a problem. We got a problem. A 34-year-old man is fist fighting a 24-year-old man in a casino over 10K that he loaned him, I think, damn near 10 years ago. It was a very long time ago. Let me find out how long ago. This is insane. Now, if Google got this one, this gonna be hilarious. He claimed that he loaned them the money. It don't say how long. Say they don't know. He said it was a long time ago. He said it was a long time ago. Right? He wasn't 14, but he said it was probably had to be about 3, 4, 5 years ago. However long ago it was. End of the day, gang. These are the things that come into play, gang, that we have to discuss. I know these are difficult issues, but a 34-year-old man is fighting a 24-year-old man over 10K that he owes him, that he actually owes him. So instead of having a meeting of the minds, we got to have DMs where we going to slap each other over money that you actually do owe. Gang, we have to do better. As a culture, we got to do better. I'm just going to be honest. This is a grown man versus a kid, almost. Now, Lil TJ ain't nobody's kid, but at the end of the day, this is a grown man. Let's say if they was somewhere in the casino together, you got to be 21 to get in the casino. So it had to be 3 years ago, a minimum. Right? It was years ago, allegedly. So you wait years to owe this man money, and then when he asks you for the money back, you tell him to take it in blood. I'm sure it didn't start there, but it got there. I don't understand why we can't do better. My grown black men, we got to be better than this. Right? Even the damn kid from Sister Act is older. Oh, happy day. He older now. What was he in City High, the group? He ain't no little kid no more either. I think Sister Act 20-something years. Shit, damn near 30 years ago. Might be 30 years. Even the little kid, the little boy in Sister Act 2 ain't no little kid no more. And I guarantee you, he's acting like a grown man. Why are my grown rappers still? So Miss Tiny said TJ was 20 at the time. So that was 4 years ago. Possibly more. Because he could be having a birthday next week for all I know. Why are my grown men? And I get it. You're going to say, Charles, he got an addiction. Is what it is. End of the day, if I'm 34, which means I was 30 at the time, you were 20 at the time. I know damn well I'm sunning you right now. I know that. You a little nigga. You a little kid to me. If I'm 30 and you 20. We don't hang in the same circles. We would not be friends if you weren't a rapper. And that's why I'm borrowing this money from you, because I know you're looking up to me, and I know that I don't got to give it back to you. Well, some dudes don't play with their money. Some dudes don't play. Rappers are in danger because Offset almost lost his life over $10,000. Right? It would have been another senseless tragedy. You would have lost 2 Migos over the nonsense. Unbelievable. Then let's get to the Pooh Shiesty situation. Why? Why are my hip hop heads still? We're still here, gang. Rappers are in danger. Now let's talk about it. It could be either way. There are reports upwards of, I don't know, $25 million that's owed. I don't know. That allegedly Gucci Mane might still be in arrears with paying Pooh Shiesty. Let's say that. Just like how Ice Cube, when he went into that label office with that baseball bat. Y'all watched the movie Straight Outta Compton? Ice Cube really did that. He went to the office of the record label, started bashing everything and threatening. He had his boys, and they went up there like, "You gonna pay me?" So rappers do get frustrated. Hip hop has its moments where the artists get frustrated. Because let's be honest, a lot of us got into hip hop and music. We learned from hip hop. I mean, the music business was run by the mobsters for the most part. A lot of the rules and a lot of the things, the way that they pay you was done by people, unscrupulous people with awful contracts, paying you penny to a dollar. They were looking at it like, I'm putting up the money, you're not. I'm taking all the risk, you're not. At one point, they were giving you 6 cents off of every dollar you made. That was a standard contract. It might still be. They give you points, percentages, and cents. Now, what's going on is we aren't born in this business. We learn it after we get it, and then we get burnt. So when we as artists take a Gucci Mane or a Master P or somebody who's an artist first, then they start signing people. What they do, they take the exact same contract that they were given. We don't know how to do contracts. So we take the exact same one that they gave to us, copy, paste it, or we get a lawyer who's proficient in screwing people. So then we get him to write a new contract for the new artist. And guess what? Now you just hit that new artist with the same old BS that you got hit with. Not that you meant to. You just think this is how it's supposed to be done. Contracts are different now. People are restructuring them, whereas they want to be more fair to the artists. Some people are doing better splits, but the splits are awful. An artist can live his whole life and never pay back, never recoup. Who was that rapper just said they never, was it The Game? Somebody just said they never got a royalty check in their entire career. Ever. Might have been The Game that said that. Somebody said that. I don't remember what rapper. And people were like, huh? What? Ruh-roh. Because the contracts are passed down from generation to generation. That's why they have that clause in there. If you go 30 years, right? If you go 30 years, those because they were keeping these guys' records forever. They had to make a clause in there that if you go 30 years, it reverts back to you. That's what Salt-N-Pepa's fighting for, but they're not giving them their shit back because they're saying you weren't the original owners of it anyway. There are a lot of artists. Some of these artists they gotta go and re-record the music because they can't get their masters back. So they got to re-record the actual music and put it back on streaming services because the contract's so wacky that they can't even get the masters back. So what they're doing now is repeating the sins of the father because they don't know no better. I remember when I heard that Michael Jackson was getting 6 cents off every record he sold. Do you know how much a record makes? Back in the day, they were selling compact discs for $20.99. Manufacturing this shit for less than $1. This is why they driving Bentleys and got super yachts and shit like that. And the payout was atrocious. But you know what they used to tell us back in the 80s and 90s? When you used to try to go for your record deal, they would be like, well, you know that the payout is 6 cents per off each dollar, right? That's what they're paying you. Imagine that. In what world is that fair? 6 cents? You're the creative talent. They were literally paying people 6 pennies from every dollar. Now, put that in perspective. If you did that, it's kind of like hazing when you go to a new college. The people before you got hazed. Ain't no way they letting you in there without getting hazed. You not coming in here, Jimmy, without getting hazed. We're gonna put whipped cream all over you, everything. Tar and feather your ass, make you run naked through the yard, all that shit. Make you drink a whole gallon of vodka and everything else. Because I had to do it. So a lot of these guys gonna bring you in there and do you how they were done. Little Richard said he was paid half a cent per album. So what we're seeing is artists with very little knowledge of the business, artists with very little desire to change the business, And artists who really don't want to change the business because they want to make a lot of money off of you, they're going to copy and paste that contract. I used to do it. I used to copy and paste contract. We never made no money. I never really have no artists that I needed to pay out. Like we were doing stuff like local shit. But you think, oh, I want to get business. I want to do it like they do the labels. Da, da, da. So you go online, download a label standard contract, right? You're never really going to use it, but you download it. And you use that as the blueprint of what to tell somebody, okay, sign that. This is the contract. Rough and Tough Records. This is who we are. Da, 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 da. You barely can understand it your goddamn self. But you make him sign it. Now imagine you actually fucking pop. All these rappers, none of them know they were going to pop. So you give them this contract that you downloaded off of staples.com or wherever you got it from. Whatever site you got it from, you download the doc, you print it out, you hand it to him. Here's Shorty Ray, sign this. I'm your label now. Like, and it's a trash contract. That's what's going on. Now, in all fairness, Gucci should be a little more literate at this point of trash contracts. So at this point, you giving out trash contracts now, you low-key mean to. You hazing niggas at this point. Tar and feather his ass. You gonna run to that playground? I know it's broad daylight, but you're not listening. Pay attention. You're gonna run to that playground. You're gonna touch that sliding board. You're gonna run around the swing set twice naked, and you're gonna run back. He's gonna hit you with the tar. Sammy gonna throw the feathers on you, and you run upstairs. And then you a beta. So they hazing these rappers. So we can only assume that Pooh Shiesty may have been in a weird deal. We don't know for sure. But we know that he came out of prison and had another hit record, if I'm not mistaken. Out of prison. Had another hit record. When dudes are disgruntled, now I'm going to be honest. Some of these rappers do make up stuff. And now they are upset because the record didn't sell. And then they blame their label. We've seen that playbook 100 times. Right? We've seen that playbook. It's the label didn't do it, but it sounds like Pooh Shiesty really did move some records, a whole lot of units. And I would think there's a whole lot of money to be had. I just saw Gucci pull out $1 million. he told his wife to count the rest of it. What's that? She counting. He said he got $1 million for a brand new artist. So the label 1017 got some money, gang. Now, allegedly, Pooh Shiesty was there to talk to Gucci Mane about the record deal. Right? He was there allegedly to talk about the record deal. One thing led to another. And here we go. Now, I got this one up too, because I want to talk about this one as well, the Pooh Shiesty one. But it looked like this was over a record deal. Now, did he overreact? Yes. Yes. Let's just be honest. He indeed overreacted. When you are young in the hood, you don't always make the best decisions. You just saw little TJ in the casino, right? But one thing I can say, And yes, it was quote unquote how it played out, dumb, right? But let's examine why. Let's examine why. What's going on is these rappers, some of them getting burnt by these labels. Let's just be honest. It's been happening since the beginning of time. And some of them are disgruntled because they are getting burnt for their money. Rightfully so. We've seen it 100 times, maybe 1,000. Especially when an artist gets that copy and paste contract, prints it out, hands it to that young boy that's in his 20s. Let me find out how old Pooh Shiesty is. Pooh Shiesty is 26 years old. Then you gotta add in that he did, I believe, 3 years in prison, and he lost a lot of time in prison. So it's not even a pure 26. It's a dude that spent time and came out and still had to do things. Right? How old is Gucci? And Gucci Mane did time as well. Gucci Mane is 46 years old. Okay? So let's start there. Pooh Shiesty 26. Gucci Mane is 46. Another disparaging a difference in age. Now, a 46-year-old rapper with more artists, he has several artists. I saw a video of him saying, I'm dropping all my artists except for Pooh Shiesty. I saw that video. So at this point, we can't say Gucci is copying and pasting contracts unwittingly and unknowing. We can't say that anymore. We have to acknowledge that at this point, Gucci Mane is an executive in this business. He knows what a good contract is and is not. So if Pooh Shiesty is unhappy and him and his dad are there with 7 to 8 other men to confront you, which he said he's already confronted you before, and you're not listening, that's a reason. That is something to understand, that he's there because something's wrong with the paperwork. Now, I get it. Some guys just get famous, want to leave you because they on now. That does happen. Let's just be honest. Some guys, you help them get on, now they want to leave you. But at the end of the day, you're still signing. That's how Gucci's looking at it. Right? I know De La Soul they spent 30 years trying to get out of that contract with was it what's that? Tommy Boy Records. And they just really wrapped that up probably 2 years ago. I'm talking 30, 35 years. Since 89, they was in a trash contract with Tommy Boy Records. They didn't even have music on streaming services because the contract was so bad. They didn't even have it on there because the splits were so bad. They like don't even put it on there. He controlled everything for years. They finally got out of it, but it took long. Some people don't let you out. So Pooh Shiesty allegedly was going to step to him about this contract. And what I believe, this is what I believe. I'm just going to be honest. I think Gucci Mane was dismissive. Right? And I know the proper thing is to say he's dumb, da da da. And I understand, and it is dumb to kidnap your label head the owner of your label. I know it is dumb. And I agree with that. But some of these guys are from the streets. He's 26 years old. He started rapping at a very young age, but he started getting in trouble even younger. And he learned a certain kind of way. Actions have reactions, cause and effect. And a lot of times these dudes don't know nothing but either violence or threats of violence, intimidation. This is how they get what they want. This is how they got where they are. Right? And I feel like what happened was the conversation about getting out of the contract escalated again. Another time. But this time, homeboy was not going to be sunned by this old ass dude who keep talking to him, probably like dismissive. Let's be honest. If you Gucci, man, you really think you're invincible. Let's just be honest. I'm sure he thought, ain't nothing gonna happen to me. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me. Who the hell I'm gonna touch Gucci? Sherry, and you're right. It's the plan. The plan, it was no plan. I truly think he had no plan. I think he went in there to talk and to check the temperature. And I think the temperature got hot real quick. I don't think he planned to do none of that. I think he went in there to see what was good. And when it really got like that, I think he just reverted back to what he know. And then here we go. So I think he reached the tipping point because he wasn't getting the reciprocation of what he thought he was supposed to get. Some of these guys, man, these dudes are off the rip, man. These dudes off the block. They don't always think shit through. It's not right. But I don't think he came in there, we gonna do this, that. I think he came in there, if something get like that, then it's gonna get like that. But I don't think he wanted to. Nobody gonna do that on purpose. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? It's easier ways to get that done than the way he did it. It's smarter ways to do that. Cameras all over the place. Them dudes did it the dumbest way ever. That can't be you couldn't have planned this. There's no way you planned this. There's no way you planned it. I think it escalated and dude just like, you know what? Take things off. Now he did have that contract with him, but he probably was like, I'm gonna talk some sense into him. Right? Or maybe I'm giving him too much. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. Maybe he went in there like, shit, we gonna body everything in here if they move wrong. He gonna sign his paper. But what I think is, yeah, he had the whole Wu-Tang with him. But if he rolls like that, then that might be how he rolls. Some dudes go everywhere with goons. Right? Some dudes go everywhere with goons. So it might not even have been a whole thing where, you know what I mean? I think homeboy went in there to really just put a little bit of pressure on him. And I think he was dismissive to him. Because it sounded like they said that they was arguing in the back. Let's just be honest. Most of us is from the streets. We came to rob you. We don't need, ain't no whole lot of arguing. If he came there to do that, there's nothing to argue about. The reports say they argued. The police that was speaking on it said an argument ensued. If they came there to do that, it's nothing to argue about. Pull the guns, sign the paper, take things off, we leave it. Ain't nothing to argue about. So I think they got into an argument because homeboy was dismissive to him. And then he was like, oh yeah, this is what you think? That's what I think happened. I think it escalated because Gucci wasn't being respectful to him. Just gonna be honest. And I think that he really thought that Gucci would never ever say nothing. I think he thought that was going to stay in the streets. I think he was like, Gucci would never take this to the cops. But I don't think he counted on the other people that had taken it to the cops. I don't think he counted on that. Let me see what Sherry has said. The fact that his daddy was in on it tells me everything I need to know. Yeah, Pops is there. Pops put in work in it. Pops just rolled with it and let it happen and kind of planned it. And you know what I mean? I think Pops is like, okay, if it do go down, we're gonna do this, that, and the third. If it do go down, right? Because didn't they let Pops out for some reason? I don't know what's going on. They trying to get him back, and I don't know. Yeah, and his dad really not really leading him the right way. Your dad supposed to lead you away from all this. If anything, let's just be honest. If anything, your dad supposed to be like, stay home. I'll go. I'll talk to this dude by myself. You don't need to be there. Sound like the dad is just as culpable as young boy is, as Pooh is. In the end of the day, man, we got a lot of artists, man. They are getting burnt. They are getting burnt. And I don't know what's going on with Gucci's artist. I don't know if he's burning this guy or not. But for a guy to be this angry to rob everybody in there, put a gun to your head, make you sign some paperwork that's never going to go nowhere, that would have never held up in court. He had to know that. He had to know that. I was strong armed and had to sign this under duress. There's no way that was going to ever hold up in court. So, end of the day, he did this. This was damn near a crime of passion. So, what we're looking at is a situation where maybe the contract needs to be examined. Because a lot of times these kids sign these things, or they sign them with their parents there. I don't know how young he was when he signed it. He might have been of age, but he's still from the hood. He don't know nothing about nothing. So he might have signed some contract that's really, really trash. Just trying to get on. Everybody get a bad deal, but what happens is you might not get out of that bad deal once you start popping. And I think that's where this is coming from. I don't think this just, oh, I'm robbing Gucci because whatever. I think homeboy really like, yo, listen, I've been eating the bullshit for long enough, and I'm tired of it. I need to get this contract out of here. And Gucci was like, yeah, nah, that ain't gonna happen, gang. I'm gonna go ahead and just get in the studio, get in the booth, finish your rap. You got 2 more verses. They was recording. Like, I read the studio out to record, nigga. We recording. I hit you with that shit later. Some of these execs can avoid some of this stuff if they just negotiate a little bit. Just a little bit. Yo, bro, listen. we can go to Cheesecake, sit down and eat something. And we can talk about it. Over so egg foo young. Cheesecake got a big ass menu. Gang, they sell everything in there. It's the biggest menu I've ever seen, honestly. I be getting that miso salmon, I'm gonna be honest. I go to Cheesecake over a lot of expensive restaurants. I've been to a lot of expensive restaurants, and their cooks don't be as good as Cheesecake. I'm just gonna be honest. Could have took that boy to Cheesecake. That would have calmed everything. And a milkshake. I'll take a milkshake too. He would have been fine, gang. He would have been good. Just gonna be honest. But these contracts these days, these artists are making contracts. They're copying and pasting bad deals from the 90s. You know how insane it is to get a deal from the 90s in 2026? Even in 2020, they're giving these kids deals that they wouldn't take themselves. So imagine a street dude that has nothing to lose, been to prison mad times. How you gonna tell him, yeah, hold on, gang? No, I'm not letting you out of this. At some point, it's to him, you robbing him. And he has no choice. He don't know that he could just wait it out and do this. He could just do some shows, eat off that for a while, but it's a lot of people getting tired of that too. Of they can't put no music out because the label, this, the label. You hear it all the time. They can't drop no music because they at odds with the label. It happens all the time. And some of you gonna know better than me of all these artists that's disgruntled with these hood labels, and they can't drop this, they can't drop that because the hood label won't let them. You will know better than me. You can name 10 artists right now that's really popping, but the label holding them back. They won't let them drop this, that, and the third. It happens every day. You hear it all the time. Some of these dudes snap. I think Homeboy snapped. Now he ruined his whole life. He could have waited out, got representation, right? Because that's what some people snap and they go in there with baseball bats, or they do the Suge Knight, come and hang you upside down over the balcony until you sign away your rights to Vanilla Ice. What Vanilla Ice song? Do 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 do. Mind you, the Vanilla Ice song. What was that? Name of that goddamn record? Funky something. What's the Vanilla Ice record? Do 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 do. Cold as ice, ice baby. Right? Until he can hang you over the balcony until you sign your rights off the ice baby. Right? Some people do that. Right? Now everybody can't do that. Everybody can't hang you over a balcony until you sign over your rights to Ice Baby. And fun fact, Ice Baby, they sampled that song from, I believe it was that David Bowie? Is that David Bowie, Under Pressure? The Ice Baby? And I believe they may have not got no publishing or something, but they sampled it before they cleared it. And Homeboy was like, "We gonna clear it later." I don't remember how much publishing they actually got, but Homeboy had to pay that later. They sampled it. They said, "Let's see it." No, it wasn't Funky Cole Medina. That's Tone Loc. They was like, "We gonna sample it and deal with it later." Right? They had to deal with it later. Right? I don't know how much they had to pay, but they had to pay a grip. And I think Vanilla Ice might be one of them guys that ended up Under Pressure's Queen. Is it Queen? Queen and Bowie? Queen and Bowie. You're right, Queen B. I'm gonna get on Black Yeti right before I leave out here. I want y'all to head on over to black-yeti.com. No, not Tone Loc. That's Under Pressure. Ain't that David Bowie and Queen? And that's what Vanilla Ice sampled. I thought it was David Bowie by itself, but I guess it's Queen too. The Ice Baby. But they sampled that. Yeah, I thought it was just Bowie. I don't know. They telling me it might be Queen too. But they sampled that without getting any clearance to use it. And yeah, it got hit hard at the end. They risked everything to put that song. End of the day, everybody can't hang you off the balcony and make you sign something. So him trying to make Gucci sign that was crazy and erroneous, and it was never going to work unless Gucci was going to never say that it happened. Gang, some people, they mind ain't all the way together. And he might have been like, Gucci so street, he ain't even going to admit to the robbery. He like, Gucci so street, he'll never even say that this happened. But imagine how many millions he going to lose by saying it never happened. And he just signed all the rights away to this guy. I told you, dude, only 26. I don't know if he thought all this shit through. Gucci will be signing away millions just to stay street, just to save face and say the robbery never happened. But I think Homeboy was betting on Gucci's hood reputation. Guarantee you. So he thought, yeah, I can do this and it's going to be okay. End of the day, right? End of the day, I feel like we're witnessing rappers crashing out for things that they obviously could have done better. They're not thinking things through. I think Pooh Shiesty just wanted out of that deal because it was an old ass slave deal that Gucci Mane learned when he got initiated in this shit. And he's hitting all the young boys with the same deal. And Homebody said Gucci asked for all his artists to give their chains back. I remember saying he's going to drop them all. Then he went. Even one of them that died, allegedly, he wanted the chain back. Right? So imagine that guy who's getting the chains back. Imagine how fair and balanced that record deal must be. I'm just gonna be honest. So a YN versus an old N, a YN gonna do things a YN way, and they might not always be that smart. And not to mention, a lot of them artists on that label, they didn't. Things ain't work out for a lot of them. Let's just be honest. Let's say that. Quite a few of them artists. Gucci had nothing to do with that stuff, as far as I know. But quite a few of them artists are not here no more. Allegedly, right? So we don't know what's going on. But at the end of the day, we got to look at it like this. I think Homeboy felt the record deal wasn't good for him. And I think he was tired of it. And I think there was a lot of money on the table. And I think Gucci was like, you gotta think when these guys get this money, look at Babyface. Look at Baby. look at Baby, Birdman. Birdman notorious for not paying you and keeping you in awful contracts. Lil Wayne had to sue him. And that's where all the madness started for cash money, young money, cash money, this, that, and the third. Had to sue him. When these guys get all this money, they don't want to hand it over. Right? You saw Gucci counting that $1 million, talking about, I got $1 million cash for the next artist. He did this like 3 days ago. Cash. He said, this $1 million cash is for the next artist. I'm looking for an artist. Well, how you think he got that money? Damn sure ain't about handing it out to other niggas for the terrible contracts. I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I think that it's just a bad contract. And I think Homeboy was tired of it and he stepped to him and he was like, yeah, no. even you gonna be still here. Even you. I think he had this contract and the dude was like, yeah, well, the contract's for a reason. I think he was really like, yeah, nah, I'm gonna go ahead, just go ahead and get in the booth, finish another track. I got the smoking beat. Yeah, Big, look it up. He just put it out. I just saw the video about 3 days ago. After the robbery, he made a video talking about I got $1 million for the next artist. If I'm not mistaken. I think I talked enough, man. Rappers are in danger. I think that what we're seeing now is, once again, people crashing out, putting their life on the line for the money of the hip hop, not the hip hop, the money of it. Hip hop supposed to be smart on this. We supposed to be better and deal with problems more efficiently, more intelligently. But these guys are resorting to violence, resorting to guns. We're seeing guys getting held at gunpoint, kidnapped. Homeboy in the thing with Gucci got choked till he went unconscious. Right? They doing this, that, and the third. The Offset thing, they pistol whipping and all this kind of nonsense. All this stuff can be avoided if you just slow down and think logically. Where's this going? Because somebody going in jail in both of them situations. Whole lot of dudes going in jail. So now we done destroyed a whole bunch of families. A lot of fathers ain't coming home no more. We're not thinking this stuff through. You can fight things legally, gang. I know this sounds absolutely crazy, right? Salute to Nikki G. Even you. Thank you for the super chat. I know this sounds absolutely crazy. And he would never do this. But Little TJ could have actually went to court. I know, gang, it sounds absolutely ridiculous. I know. Didn't Cameron just do it? And you guys told me Cameron had every right to sue? Now we know TJ not gonna do that. 26-year-old rapper, he definitely ain't gonna take it to nobody court. But grown man time, you don't get in a fight in the middle of the Hard Rock Cafe over 10K. It would have looked much better in the real world to real adults if he did a little small claims court for the 10K and left it at that. Now we got people, somebody going to jail for this shooting, and somebody going to jail for this violence in that casino. Boom, boom, boom. I'm out of here, man. Diego, I see you, man. Listen, Bing, I'm out of here, man. I think I said enough. Hip hop is in danger, but it always been in danger, but this is getting ridiculous. Start thinking some shit through, gang. Some of these guys are 20 years older. So Offset is 10 years older than Lil TJ. And Gucci Man is 20 years older than Pooh Shiesty. Yet they on both of them are on the other side of the violence. I think if them two were smarter, we wouldn't even have seen neither one of these situations. Think about this. Gucci Man actually, now his whole reputation is in danger because he has to say something. He said he'd rather die than snitch. Well, he's gonna have to say something to these people. If he would have held the situation better, it could have all been avoided. Start thinking, man. Be smarter, man. Listen. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you, man. They ship all over the continental US, dog. Lock in with them. They good money. They good business. You know what I mean? They ship it to you. All right? It is what it is. I am going to get out of here, man. I ain't got much else to say about this nonsense. Just be better, man. Just be better, man. Just be better. Oh, let me get this up here real quick before I get out of here, too. Lock in with the hoodies, man. We got the hoodies. Hit the QR code for the. I'm just gonna be honest, hoodie. I got the hoodies. They on sale right now. They be running sales all the time on the spread shirt. So lock in with that. I also got the t-shirt. I'm just gonna be honest, t-shirt. You can find that on any of my pages on my website, CLBMG. Lock in, get the gear, get the merch. All right, and when you get the merch, if you send it to me, I'll post it on all my social medias. People will buy it, but then they won't send me the picture of them wearing it. Only a few will send me the picture wearing it, but it is what it is. And I owe two of you in the chat. I owe you the t-shirts for if I got your address, your shirt's coming. I owe you the t-shirts for joining the Patreon t-shirt gang. The Patreon account is up. I got over 20 episodes over there specifically for that. Lock in with me, man. Go to Patreon, Charles Brown. I appreciate you guys. Sherry Ann, Sarah, Queen B, Homebody, Chapo, Emil. Let me see who else we got here. Blade Runner. Who else in here before I get out of here? Diego, I see you. What else going on? Zora in here. Big Dre Bone. I see you in here. Darius in here. Nikki the G. Whole lot of people. Bing, Mellow Nader. Ninth Innings in the building. Look, man. Violante, we rocking, man. Thank y'all for on short notice once again. All right. I'm out here, gang. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.